How are we doing, guys? Sorry for a late post-match reaction, but this is a reaction to Leeds United 0, Manchester City 4 from the weekend, and the general chat about the relegation battle as well, and how things are shaping up with less than 3 weeks of the season to go. So let's talk about the game first of all. It's a strange one. It really is a strange one. Football has this habit sometimes of just throwing up strange things from time to time, and it's going to sound crazy to say, but I genuinely thought we played well on Saturday. I genuinely do think we played well. I can't have much criticism of the team at all, if any, to be totally honest with you. I thought we played better on Saturday than what we did against Crystal Palace. Certainly with the ball, we created plenty of chances in the game. Defensively, again, we conceded 4 goals. It's going to sound crazy to say. Some people in the comments were going to call me crazy, but I can't have that much criticism, to be honest with you, defensively. The first goal, let's talk about the goals. So the first goal, set piece, for me, it's not a foul on Raheem Sterling. I think Stuart Dallas has played the ball. I know, obviously, on the follow-through, but again, there's always going to be a little bit of follow-through on tackles, especially when the games are fast-paced. So for me, it's just not a foul of Stuart Dallas. I don't think anyone even appeals for it from a Manchester City point of view. Great delivery off Foden, good header off Rodri. City have height. We know that. Rodri, Laporte, Diaz, they're all target men on set-piece situations. Foden's got a fantastic delivery with that left foot. Those are the situations you don't want to give Man City, especially as we're doing a good job in open play. I thought we defended really, really well, especially that first half. I can't think of City creating any chances either before or after the second goal in that first half. I thought we did a really, really good job in that sense, especially when you consider we lost Liam Cooper in the warm-up. Pascal came in at that point. I thought we were fine in that kind of sense defensively. Going forward, I thought we attacked well. Some good opportunities in that first half, especially one for Junior Firpo, which he hammers over the bar. Again, for me, that's a big moment in the game. It's one we can score from. And to be honest, I think we probably created more in open play in that first half than what Man City did. And we find ourselves 1-0 down. City haven't really got much control of the game. We're packing the midfield really, really well, flooding the midfield, pressing well. Keeping our shape when City did play through the press from time to time because they've got outstanding footballers. And I just thought in terms of off the ball, on the ball, we couldn't really do much more than what we did in that first half. And we're 1-0 down to a set-piece goal, and it's debatable whether it was a free kick or not. Personally, I don't think it was. Some people might disagree with me, but I think we're unlucky to go in 1-0 down. The second goal is a good header back off Diaz, and obviously Ake, a slight deflection of Pascal Struijk. Again, maybe that's one way you look at and think maybe we could get the initial header. We could do a little bit better in that situation. But these are little things. I don't think we've defended either set piece particularly poorly. I think it's just good attacking off Man City. I think it's okay to say that. I think it's okay to say that Man City have got exceptional players in those situations, exceptional delivery off Foden. And it happens. And it's 2 set pieces and we find ourselves 2-0 down. But again, still at that point, I can't really think of Man City really carving clear-cut chances in open play. I think we defend those situations really well. We played with a back 5, covered the spaces really, really well. In terms of Gundogan, Foden in open play, Sterling, and who's on the left? Jack Grealish. Jack Grealish had a little bit of joy. But all in all, I don't think you can defend much better than what we did in the first sort of 60 or so minutes of the game. I think we did a really, really good job in that sense. But set pieces change games. I've said all season how important set pieces are. I did think we'd improved in those situations, and we've got to look at that again. We've got to look at that again, obviously. Obviously, at that point, when we go 2-0 down, we've then got to commit a little bit more, in terms of we know we've got to press higher up the pitch, play a little bit more openly, even change the system from a back 5 to a back 4, just to try and get that goal back. Because I did feel if we did get that goal back, the crowd would have but the crowd was fantastic anyway. The crowd was absolutely superb. I was at a wedding on Saturday, so I wasn't actually at the game, unfortunately. One of my best mates was getting married. But again, the crowd was absolutely sensational. It did come across on TV really, really well. And the players deserved that. The players, I thought, did play well despite losing the game 4-0. But you get that goal back at 2-0. I can understand why we opened up a little bit at 2-0 because you get it back to 2-1. I think at that point, Man City start to panic. They've had a big game in midweek against Real Madrid. All those little bits of things could have happened for us, but we've had chances to be honest to get it back to 2-1. Obviously Dan James had one cleared off the line of Cancelo. Joe Gelhardt has forced a really, really good save off Ederson, and then they get the third goal. Ultimately, all I'm trying to say is that third goal doesn't happen at 0-0 because we weren't that open at 0-0. They play some fantastic balls between the lines. Obviously Ederson's played a nice ball into Cancelo. Cancelo's played it off to Foden. Foden's played a lovely ball into Gabriel Jesus. The space only opened up at 2-0. That's the point I'm trying to make. We had to commit at 2-0 to try and get back into the game. People shouldn't be criticising Jesse Marsch for that third and fourth goal for me, because that just comes from us having to chase the game because we've conceded from 2 set pieces. And yeah, look, it's difficult to justify losing 4-0. And look, in terms of the result, it's an absolute nightmare. Obviously, with Burnley winning, Everton winning as well, it couldn't really have gone much worse this weekend. It's been we talked about the twists and turns, myself and Jack, after the Crystal Palace game. This is a situation where it has changed a little bit, but against us. And there's no doubt it can change the other way as well at the same time. We've got to remember that too. Ultimately, we go into that Arsenal game on next Sunday. I don't think we should change a lot, because I think in terms of how we defend in open play, we've got to brush up on the set pieces. So obviously Arsenal beating West Ham with 2 set pieces. We've got to make sure that situation is sorted out. But I think with Liam Cooper hopefully back into the team, that will massively help things, because I think since Liam Cooper came back into the team after the international break, I think defensively on set pieces we've been really, really strong. I can't think of many situations at all where we've been under threat. Add that to us looking more solid when Man City were building up and creating chances. Look, Man City are one of the best teams in the world. Arguably, they are the best team in the world. And I think, really, they've had 4 chances and scored 4 goals. I saw them against Real Madrid last week. They had a lot more than 4 chances. So, yes, it's difficult to try and be positive after losing 4-0, but there is still a lot of positives for me. There is still a lot of positives. And Jesse Marsch took a bit of a criticism in terms of how we reacted after the game, his post-match interview, but I have to agree with a lot of things. I know in terms of results are what matters at this stage of the season, but ultimately there's a lot of things I took from that performance on Saturday that I can say will help us over these next 4 games. If we create the chances we did against Arsenal, against Chelsea, against Brighton and Brentford, we will score goals. We will score goals. There's no doubt about that. I'm not too concerned about the lack of goals over the last 2 games. We have had chances in that City game, and I think we did play better with the ball than we did against Crystal Palace. We created opportunities and moments, and this is against really, really good players. Laporte, Diaz, Cancelo, really, really good players. So yeah, there's a lot of things I would take from that. But the set pieces is obviously the big one when you think negatively. But again, I think it's still more good attacking rather than bad defending off ourselves. In terms of the next couple of weeks, a lot of people are writing us off now. A lot of people are writing us off because we've got some very, very difficult games. And yeah, we have got some difficult games. But if we play like that against Arsenal and Chelsea, like we did on Saturday, and improve on set pieces, then there's no reason why we can't take results from those games, or at least one of those games. And I'm going to genuinely say that. I genuinely don't see, if we can play like that, improve on the set pieces, why not? Why not? Why can't we take anything from the next 2 games? We saw how Chelsea played against Everton. Arsenal weren't exactly convinced against West Ham. They're good teams. Look, they are very good teams, not going to doubt that. But there's no reason why we can't. The game was changed on a refereeing error for me against Manchester City. We had to then open up a little bit, and we were unlucky in the game. There's no reason why not. Brighton and Brentford, again, difficult games as well. But I'm not totally giving up. I'm not totally giving up at all. In fact, to be honest, I'm not at all. I'm very, very confident in this team. I think in terms of our manager, I think he's made a lot of changes very, very quickly. I think he's implementing them well. I can't say he didn't set us up well on Saturday. I know we lost the game 4-0. Again, I know all this. But we didn't do much wrong on Saturday. There's no reason why we can't pick up points. Now, look, Burnley is probably the one where we look at and think, wow, 3 wins from 4 games unbeaten, very, very impressive stuff. But when you actually look into the games they played, Burnley, they played West Ham away, Southampton at home, Wolves at home, Watford away. Watford away, straight away, that's not massively impressing me. They were 7 minutes away from getting beaten by Watford. We battered Watford. Southampton at home. Look, Southampton haven't been really convincing at all in the last couple of weeks. I know we drew against Southampton, but really, they've not really got anything to play for. I can't remember them winning that many games in recent weeks. Yeah, it's still a good win. Wolves have been on the beach for ages. We beat Wolves as well. This is the point. We beat West Ham. We beat Wolves, we beat Watford. So really, when you look into it, have we really seen Burnley be fully tested in these last 4 games? I think they've got far bigger tests to come. I know they've got to play Aston Villa. The thing is, we're playing Aston Villa twice, and I know Aston Villa haven't exactly been great. The odds are they're not going to win both of those games. That's what the odds are. I'm not saying they're not going to win both of those games, but I don't feel that bad about them playing Aston Villa twice. I don't feel that bad about them because I think it's fair to expect Aston Villa to take a result from one of those 2 games. So yeah, there's little different things to look at with Burnley in that sense. But I do think people are getting a little bit carried away on Burnley. Let's not forget they were 7 minutes from losing at Watford, and Watford for me are the worst team in the league. I think Watford will finish bottom. I think they will finish below Norwich. So that's a point for me to take. Yes, defensively, I think they've been superb in recent weeks, but there's still bigger tests to come for Burnley. Burnley, for me, again, I might be totally wrong on this. Burnley are not going to win every game. They're not going to win the next 4 games for me. I don't see that. They are going to make mistakes. Burnley and Everton are going to make mistakes. They wouldn't be down there if they were as perfect as what people are trying to make them out to be. They wouldn't be down there, in that kind of sense. Everton obviously get the win against Chelsea. Again, Jordan Pickford's performed heroics. These teams have weaknesses to them. There's still going to be moments for me where they're going to drop points. Again, we've got to capitalise on that. But for me, I'm not totally giving up at all. I don't see any reason to give up or doubt this team. We've shown great spirit in recent weeks, in terms of obviously beating Watford, getting the results against Palace. I still think we'll stay up, personally. I'm genuinely going to say that. I still think we'll stay up, Leeds United. I think we showed enough on Saturday. We've shown decent resilience in recent weeks. Rafinha, Rodrigo, difference makers at the top end of the pitch. Jack Harrison obviously coming into scoring form as well. Joffrey Gelhardt making a good impact off the bench. I still think there's enough in this Leeds team to stay up, personally. Again, people might disagree with me. People are making out Mike Jackson, all of a sudden Michael Jackson at Burnley is like the best manager in the league. Let's not forget, have they really changed much from the Sean Dyche days? There's different little things to point out here. Burnley, when you look at the games they've played, they played a lot of teams that were on the beach in recent weeks. Let's see how they do against Aston Villa. Let's see how they get on in those kind of games. Aston Villa have still got something to play for. Aston Villa aren't mathematically safe yet. So they certainly won't be relaxing in those games, because if they lost twice to Burnley, all of a sudden Aston Villa could get dragged into it. So there's a lot of different things to consider here. I think anyone saying that Leeds are down, Everton are down, Burnley are down, it's just ridiculous at this point. A lot can still change in this Premier League season. So for me, that's been my little review. Again, let us know in the comments what you think. But for me, Burnley and Everton, I still look at and think they're not going to win every game for me. They're still going to make mistakes. We've got to do our job as well. I think for these next 4 games, I don't know how many wins it is. It might even only be 1 win. We might not have to win a game. I don't know. We might have to win every game. No one knows at this point, but I've seen enough to say that we can get points from these next 4 games. And that's the key thing. That is the absolute key thing anyway, guys. But I'm going to leave it there anyway. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't done already. And I will see you later, guys. Thanks so much for watching. See you later. Cheers, guys.